y'all, it's Cindy Tauchar with Around the Town in the South, and I'm always excited about my guests, but I'm really excited about these because I actually got to attend the place we're going to be talking about today. This is Laura and Margo, and they're with the Mississippi Arts and Entertainment Experience. They call it the MAX in Meridian, Mississippi. And last week was my birthday, and my husband woke up, he handed me a card and said, I've canceled all our appointments for the day. We can go anywhere you want to. We're playing hooky. Where do you want to go? Well, I had won at a silent auction. My husband always loves that word. Oh yeah, you won it. But I had, at a silent auction, I had gotten tickets because I really had been wanting to go to see this museum in Meridian, and it's so close to Jackson. It's a great day trip. And so I said, hey, I've been wanting to do this in Meridian, let's go there. So that's what I did for my birthday. And I was amazed. I did not expect, I mean, I was excited about going, but I had no idea. It's amazing, the talent in Mississippi. This is one place that showcases, we're gonna have a little bit of background noise, I apologize. But this place highlights talent in Mississippi, whether it be the visual arts, the performing arts, the literary arts, chefs. I mean, it's just amazing to me how much talent comes from Mississippi. And then I start thinking, kind of like, why did I not get any of it? Because they got it all. So anyway, tell us first of all, how did the museum get started? You know, being in Meridian, tell us a little bit about how this got started.
Okay, so this project has been about 20 years in the making, and so we were so excited that it's finally kind of come to fruition and we're here. But originally it was designed to be a little bit more of the Southeast, really, and we found that there was just so much to be said about the state of Mississippi, that we really narrowed the scope to just Mississippi, because there's just an abundance of talent here, and it was really too much to kind of go through the Southeast. So we're excited that that's kind of happened now. But that said, over the course of that time, we've had lots of volunteers who have worked tirelessly to make this really the possibilities are endless of what it can become, but of what it is now. So we're really excited about everything that we have.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when we first walked in, they have this huge Hall of Fame, and I think we spent about an hour just there. Like, we had literally taken maybe 10 steps in and spent so much time. There's little kiosks where you can stop, and they tell you about all these people from Mississippi who are in the Hall of Fame, and you can hear like a background, what their ties are to Mississippi, and you know, a lot of people probably don't know. A lot of people that they know of are from Mississippi. I mean, who knew Darth Vader himself is from the state of Mississippi? So,
Exactly.
And I will tell you the one thing that I was most amazed with, I did not know that James Earl Jones stuttered and had a stutter issue. I mean, who would have thought? So it's that kind of fun stuff you can learn. But, okay, so I've already told you the first thing you do when you get in there is that. What else is in there? I mean, you tell us what else is in there that people are interested in.
So after you leave the Hall of Fame itself, which is really unique and special, as you've already mentioned, there are 23 artists that are featured there. And you know what we really love about that is the public can actually vote on via our website as to who's actually put in.
Yeah.
So know that for future reference, you can check out our website and know that when that voting comes up, that you can actually help to choose the next recipients. Outside of that, we do currently have some we always have a changing exhibit, but currently we have a very special changing exhibit, and that is a Jim Henson exhibit featuring the Muppets. And it's really, really special. You can see a lot of the original Muppets, Kermit himself, Bert and Ernie, and the Rubber Ducky, among others. And it's really, it'll pull at your heartstrings. It really will.
Yes, and we actually have Kermit here with us today. And you know, and the thing about it is, I knew Jim Henson was from Leland, Mississippi. I've known that. There is so much Jim Henson has done himself that I had no idea. And I will tell you one thing that I absolutely loved about going here is from room to room. We were in the Jim Henson, exhibit, and the whole time I was going, oh my gosh, the grandkids would absolutely love this. We've got to bring them back. Then I would walk to another room and I would go, oh my gosh, my dad would absolutely love this. So how many generations it spans of people who would absolutely love going here, and I mean, like, we spent 3 hours there and we could have stayed another 3. We didn't see everything because they were, we just got finished with the meeting and they were speaking at the meeting and they kept talking about things. So I'm like, oh, I didn't see that. I've got to go back. But so then, okay, so that's the exhibit right now, and that is through
May the 4th.
Okay, May 4th. So if you're a big Jim Henson fan, you need to get over there before May 4th and see this because it is spectacular and interactive. I played with a little puppet and I videoed it while I was doing my little show with the Muppet, and there's so much in there that I think, I say kids would like, but I enjoyed it myself. So the next exhibit's going to be starting after that, and it's going to be completely different. What's that going to be?
It's Material Pulses is a quilting exhibit, and it's a worldwide exhibit that's coming to the Max, and it's kind of like what's the word I'm looking for, Laura?
So it's designed to showcase quilts throughout the world, but it's really kind of a different take on quilting, and that is it's sort of a modern art component.
It's an art form, yeah.
Yes, and then Margo can tell you a little bit more about the Mississippi version of that.
And as a component to that, we have the Mississippi version, which is we're asking quilters from the state to bring their quilts. We have a nominating process, and you can go to our website and get that information. And if you have a quilt that you have, there's just certain guidelines that you have to follow, but it can be showcased in the Max as well.
Oh, that's so neat. So if you have a quilt that you've quilted, or maybe one from your grandmother, because we all have those family heirlooms. That's so neat. Okay, so then after the special exhibits, tell us a little bit more of what you can see while you're there.
Okay, so after that, you'll move into our permanent exhibits, which are located on the second floor of the Max, and really all of the exhibits are designed to showcase and feature how different areas of our world have impacted Mississippi artists. So that's through the land, the community, the church, the school, among others. And so you'll start at the intro theater, which gives you a real overview of kind of what's to come, and then move into the land exhibit where you can actually sit in a boat. And it's very serene, it's very calming. I don't know if you felt that, but most people really enjoy just sort of the serenity of how the land has impacted artists.
And I'll tell you, I collect Mississippi art, so there's a lot about that I really liked. But, just sitting there and the scenery around you, you feel like you're in the water and it's surrounding you, but then the scenes change and it goes to maybe a different artist, or photography of going through under the bridge or whatever, but it's on the water and it's just beautiful, and it is very, it's kind of like I wish there weren't so many people. I went, of course it was spring break week, so there's a lot of people there, so I didn't get to sit as long as I really would have liked to, because I kind of wanted to sit there during every scene, and I needed to be nice and get up and let some other people sit there. But so one of my favorite parts, oh gosh, I had 2 favorite parts and they're so opposite each other. I'll say the church first, because if I say the juke joint first, that makes me sound funny. But the church, it is literally a church with the wooden pews and everything. And you walk in, and at the front, there's this huge screen with like gospel singers. You feel like you're really sitting in church listening to the choir sing. And it's just like, you feel it like you're really there, and really, like they're really there singing. And you had said some people were clapping along, and some people were just sitting there and just observing. And then all around the room was beautiful stained glass windows with different Mississippians and how the church had influenced their career where they are now, which I absolutely loved. And then the beautiful stained glass that Pearl River Studios here, which again, I love Mississippi artists, and I was familiar with that, and that was pretty. And then you leave church and you head to the juke joint, And it's like sitting at a little bar, and they've got the interactive on the bar where you can listen to the different, back to what, the 30s, back when juke joints started?
Yes, it outlines the entire history of how the juke joints came to be. So that's really interesting to kind of see that progression of what it is today. But as you mentioned, we have a lot of interactives, which is great. We're very much a hands-on museum.
Yes.
And so it's a really great way for anyone to kind of learn and understand exactly how the musical history really resonates in Mississippi.
Yes,
So
yes.
you can create your own song based on different artists, and you can actually email that to yourself.
That's what's so
once
fun,
yeah.
is you can do
Yeah.
all of these things and email it to yourself so that you have it, to, like, as your little
Yes.
keepsake. Kind of.
So we've also had a lot of great events surrounding in that juke joint area, and it's actually gotten so big that we've moved it to our amphitheater outside now. So Maxie's Juke Joint is a popular event where we actually have Mississippi blues artists come in and perform, and it's very reasonably priced, and you can come in and enjoy a beverage in the evening and listen to a Mississippi artist perform. So we've had some great talent. Alfonso Sanders was here recently as an example, and among many others, and we've got a great lineup coming soon for that.
That's going to be so much fun. I love that. I love it. You know, Mississippi's the birthplace of music. And so every kind of music, you know, from the blues and, you know, to, you know, gospel, of course, and then, you know, Elvis, which you have Elvis jumpsuit in there. And that's fun. Tell me some more other rooms, because you're going to remember more. There's all these little rooms. Like, there's a library. So tell us about...
We have the library, and in it is a library. It's got books of all the art of the novelists from Mississippi, and we also have a desk in there, and it's completely retroactive, and you can see, like you could see John Grisham actually type in a book, one of his books,
Yeah.
and it's really a neat place. It's one of my favorite places.
And the shelves are just filled with
Yes.
books from Mississippi
Yes.
artists and all these highlights. And then you move on to a kitchen.
Yep.
And it's supposed to be the replica of Elvis's kitchen?
Yes, well, it's kind of
Or-
designed to be along that time frame for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
And it's a special kitchen. It does some special things, especially our kitchen table, which is one of my favorite exhibits, because you can actually see all kinds of things that occur. And we'll leave some surprises, but basically you move the plates on the table, and it showcases and features Mississippi chefs, several of those who are from Jackson and have been
Yes.
to the Max. So Kat Cora was here recently. She's featured in that exhibit.
Yes.
Nick Wallace was here recently and is doing an upcoming event with cast iron cooking that we're excited about. He's featured in that exhibit, so it's a fun one.
Okay, and we love Nick Wallace. Nick Wallace was one of my first interviews
Really,
when I started doing this vlog, and so
such a nice guy.
He is, and so I'm excited. I really want to come back and to do his little cast iron
You should.
class. And I love the way he cooks anyway. So okay, tell us about. So then you go from there. There's like a home. I know we sat on and there's sheets hanging from a clothesline, and movies are being shown on there, and we just sat. There was so much to do to just sit. I mean, like we were surprised how long we were there, and we were surprised at how much was there. Tell the story you told us about the people from Detroit. Tell us that story, because that just gave me chills.
Okay, so we really do feel like there's a special opportunity that we have with this museum to not only showcase what Mississippi artists are for the state of Mississippi, and certainly children who are growing up in the state of Mississippi, but also those that are outside of the state of Mississippi.
Yes.
And we had a wonderful group that was here recently from Detroit. And I stopped in, I was just walking through the museum, and I stopped and asked one of the gentlemen who was there if he had enjoyed his time with us, and he said he did, and his comment was that he had no idea. And I said, well, could you tell me a little more? And he said, I had no idea that this was what Mississippi was about. It really changed my point of view, my opinion, because what I thought it was going to be and what it actually is are two different things. So I think we really do have a great opportunity, and certainly that's true for all the museums in our state, to really change the opinion that sometimes maybe we see on television or theater or movies or that are done kind of in other areas of what our state is. And so that was really special to see. And we've seen that we've seen people from all over the world come in and say very similar things.
Yeah, I think it really is surprising. Just I think people don't realize until they go through something like this and see, you know, just how much Mississippi has influenced, you know, the arts throughout the world, because, you know, people have, like you were saying, Bruno Mars credits Elvis as being one of his influencers. And, you know, how that just kind of goes. People that may not still be around, like Elvis. Like we're laughing saying, because Elvis isn't even alive anymore, but who knows, he may be. He's going to live forever. But, you know, there's
disagree.
Yeah. So, you know, there's so much influence from Mississippi in the arts, and I'm always so proud of that. But there's a lot of events coming up. Tell us quickly just some of them coming up. We've talked about
the movie Labyrinth is going to be there Friday night. It's free admission for anyone that wants to come, and it begins
some people,
at 7.
Okay, it's 7. But some people may not have realized, because I didn't, that Jim Henson was involved in the Labyrinth. I knew about the Labyrinth and it's David Bowie, but I just totally missed the fact that Jim Henson was involved in that. So that's really cool.
It is.
Okay, and so go on.
We have that. Well, we have a sneak peek at lunch on Friday. So if you're in the Meridian area, stop by the Max and see that, and then definitely come back at night on Friday night. We have on April the 9th, we have a trip. We're going away from the Max. This is for members. We're going to the Lauren Rogers Museum in Laurel, Mississippi, and we're going to tour that, and then we're going to go downtown and have lunch at some of the area restaurants, and then we're going to do a tour of hometown, some of the homes that the Napiers did. So that's going to be really interesting.
That would be a lot of fun.
We also have one thing that the Max members get to do that is really kind of neat is a wine down, and that's a wine tasting competition.
It is so much fun.
It's fun. You have teams, and it's a team of 1 to 3 people, and you bring 3 bottles of the same type of wine, and we'll name the wine, and you bring that. We'll take 2 of those bottles and hide it so you don't, cover it so you don't know what kind of wine it is, and the other bottle goes in the pot, and the teams will go around, they'll taste all of the wines, they drink it, and it gets really fun at the end of the night, and at the end of the night, they'll score all the wines, and the winning team will take all of those bottles of wine except for 1 bottle. And that 1 bottle is the wine that nobody wanted. And it's the losing team, they'll take that back. So
That's
it's fun. This is a good way for our members to get to know each other. And if you want to be a member, it's a good way to join.
Tell us about membership. How do you become a member? How much does it cost? That kind of thing.
Well, we've got several packages. We've got an individual membership that begins at $50 all the way up to $5,000, and that pretty much the sky's the limit. We've got corporate memberships, we've got family memberships, and they're all really good prices for what you get, for sure. The family membership is $150, and that's for benefits for 4. And if, say, you get a membership, you can bring other people besides the same 4 people. It doesn't have to be the same 4, because they're not all going to be listed on that card.
Yeah, so it's just, you can bring, if you have a family membership, you can bring 3 people with you every time you come.
Yep.
Okay, and you said about classes. Y'all have classes there?
We do. We've got.
And we said interactive, but there really is some classes, art classes and
pottery classes. And one thing that we're starting in April for our members on Tuesdays and Thursdays is a monthly class or session, and our members can come in, and for $40 they can make pottery during
That's
the day.
really neat.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I would love to do that. But while I was there was a lot of kids were in rooms like doing art projects and all these little kiosk and places. People were doing little making videos and emailing them to themselves, and it's very interactive and a lot of fun. And so I just really want to encourage you, if you're in the Jackson metro area, or if you're in Hattiesburg area, or even Tuscaloosa, this is an easy day trip to get to Meridian and back. And I mean, it doesn't have to be a whole weekend trip, but this is definitely something that's worth the drive over to go to this museum. And I'm so glad I went, and definitely will be going back. So I just want to thank y'all so much.
Thank you so much
for telling us about the Max, and I want to encourage all of y'all to go. I want to thank my sponsors, Odom's Eye Care. Even if you can see perfectly fine, you still need to take care of your eyes, and going to the eye doctor needs to be a part of your regular health care. They can find all kinds of diseases that just by looking through your eyes. And so I want to recommend Odom's Eye Care. That's where I go. And Chaney Day Parade Photography. Karri Chaney is a very talented photographer. She does great children's photography, families, maternity. And she's just fun to be around anyway. So Chaney Day Parade Photography, I've got their information here. You can click on it. I've got the website for the Max. You can click on it and keep up with what all's going on there. I do want to encourage you to get over there while Jim Henson is still there, because I had so much fun in there, and I'm sure the quilting will be fun too. I want to come back when that's all set up. But thank y'all so much for talking to me today, and I want to ask y'all, please share this, because I want everybody in Mississippi that can possibly get over to Meridian to know about this and get over there and support this. It's just a great place to go. So share this and like around the town in the south, and we'll be seeing you around the town.
Thank you.
Thank you.